So there was a very famous reporter, James Risen. Some of you might know him as the winning reporter for the New York Times. Long before anybody knew Edward Snowden's name, Risen wrote a book in which he famously exposed that the NSA was illegally wiretapping the phone calls of the Americans. But it's in another chapter in that book that may have had an even more lasting impact on it. In it, he describes a catastrophic US intelligence operation in which the CIA quite literally handed over the blueprints of a nuclear bomb to Iran. If that sounds crazy, then you should go and read it. It's an incredible story. But but do you know who didn't like that chapter? The US government. So for nearly a decade afterwards, Risen was the subject of a US government investigation in which the prosecutors demanded that he testify against one of his alleged sources. And along the way, he became the face for the US government's recent pattern of prosecuting whistleblowers and spying on journalists. You see, under the First Amendment Act, the press has the right to publish secret information in the public interest, but it's impossible to exercise that right if the media can't also gather that news and protect the identities of the brave men and women who get it to them. So when the government came knocking, Risen did what many brave reporters had done before him. He refused and said he'd rather go to jail. So from 2007 to 2015, Risen lived under the specter of going to federal prison. That is, until just days before the trial, a curious thing happened. Suddenly, after years of claiming it was vital to their case, the government dropped their demands to Risen altogether. It turns out, in the age of electronic surveillance, there are very few places reporters and sources can actually hide. And instead of trying and failing to have Risen testify, they could have his digital trail testify against him. So, completely in secret and without his consent, prosecutors of Risen's phone records, uh, they got his financial and banking information, his credit reports, travel records with a with a list of flights he had taken, and it was among this information that they used to convict Jeffrey sorry Jeffrey Sterling, who was Risen's alleged source and CIA whistleblower. Sadly, this is just one of the many, and President Obama ran on a promise to protect whistleblowers, but instead, his Justice Department has prosecuted more than all other administrators combined. So now you can see the problem, especially because the government considers so much of what it does a secret. And since 9/11, every important story about the national security has been the result of a whistleblower coming to a journalist. So we risk seeing the press unable to do their job that the First Amendment is supposed to protect because of the government's expanded ability to spy on everyone. But just as technology has allowed the government to circumvent the reporter's rights, the press can also use this technology to protect their sources even better than before. And they can start from the moment they begin speaking with them rather than on the witness stand after the fact. Communication software now exists that wasn't available when Ryzen was writing his book, and is much more surveillance resistant than emails or even phone calls. So, for example, one such tool is SecureDrop. It's an open source whistleblower submission system that was originally created by the late Internet luminary Aaron Swartz, and it is now being developed by a non-profit organization. So for example, if you want to send an important information to the Washington Post, you can upload a document or send that information, and you will put it through that software through the Washington Post, and it will be saved in their server in an encrypted form. So the government can no longer secretly demand that information, and much of the information they would demand wouldn't be available in the first place. But SecureDOP, though, is really only a small part of the huge puzzle for protecting press freedom in the 21st century. Unfortunately, governments all over the world are constantly developing new spying techniques that put us all at risk. And it's up to us to, uh, for, going forward, to make sure that it's not just the tech savvy whistleblowers like Edward Snowden who have an avenue for exposing wrongdoing. It's just as vital that we protect the next veterans healthcare whistleblower, alerting us about overcrowding hospitals, or a Wall Street insider warning us of the next financial crisis, or an environmental worker who wants to alarm us about the dirty water. So, after all, these tools weren't just built to help the brave men and women who help expose these kind of crimes, but are meant to protect all our rights that is enlisted under the Constitution. Thank you.